Hello and good evening from St. Louis Park. I'm Bruce Hoberman along with Tom Whitlock, and tonight it's the St. Louis Park Orioles taking on the Edina Hornets. And as I mentioned, joining me tonight, Tom Whitlock. And Tom, you have one son on the team right now, and you had another son that just went through the St. Louis Park program a few years back.
Yes, Ray graduated a couple of years ago and is playing basketball down at Luther College, and Joey's a senior.
And the St. Louis Park Orioles are going to have their work cut out for them tonight against a tough Edina team who some have ranked as number 7 in the state in the Section 4A. For the St. Louis Park Orioles, they're coming off tough 64-63 loss to Edina St. But the St. Louis Park Oriole team has been tested and will be tested the next 3 games as well, Tom, as they not only play Edina tonight, but they've got Wayzata and Chaska as their next 2 opponents. So.
Yeah, I think Coach Breitenbucher intentionally made a very difficult schedule to get this team ready for conference play and for sections, and they've actually been very competitive in a lot of these tough games. They lost a heartbreaker to Totino Grace. Kyrie Mayfield made a great pull-up jump shot with about 12 seconds left, and then Totino Grace made a last-second shot, so it was a little bit of a heartbreaker, but a very well-played game.
And starting lineups tonight for the St. Louis Park Orioles will be number 2, Aiden Doherty, 6'5" senior. Number 4, Joey Whitlock, 5'10" senior. Number 5, Luke Peterson, a 6'2" senior. Number 11, Kyrie Mayfield, 6' senior. And number 21, Anthony Odens, he's a 6'3" junior for the Edina Hornets. It'll be Luke Lena, 5'11" senior. Number 3, Charlie Fisher, a 6'1" senior. Number 4, Anders Nelson, 6'1" senior. Number 10, Jack Middleton, he's a 6'4" junior. And number 50, Jacob Hudson, a 6'6" sophomore. Players to keep track of in this game: Anders Nelson, number 4 for Edina. He averages 22.7 points per game. And for the Orioles, it'll be Kyrie Mayfield and Joey Whitlock, both averaging 14, almost 15 points per game. We get ready to jump it up. Edina in the white uniform, St. Louis Park black and orange. Tip control by Edina, that's Fisher. And now Nelson in the front court. Working it inside, and we get a travel call against Jacob Hudson inside. Hudson is a 6'6" sophomore. Tallest player on the court. Aiden Doherty is 6'5". Kyrie Mayfield, it's the Orioles started here as Peterson. Orioles without Jacob Houts in this game. And another turnover for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Their first turnover of the game. That was Aiden Doherty slipping.
Just getting warmed up.
Right. That first basket that's always so tough to come by. Once you get that first basket, everyone seems to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
Edina's beaten some pretty good teams, Tom. They've beaten Apple Valley and Cretin-Durham Hall.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting year in Minnesota basketball. Having Edina beat the number 1 and number 2 teams to start the season really sent shockwaves through Minnesota basketball. But they've come back to earth a little bit in the last few weeks.
So Charlie Fisher gets the first points of the game, a 3-pointer for Edina. They lead 3-0. Kyrie Mayfield up top of the key. We'll try and set things up.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Orioles adjust to not having Jacob Houts. Jacob has really been a nice surprise for this team at the beginning of the year.
Nice drive to the basket by Kyrie Mayfield. He gets the first 2 points for the St. Louis Park Orioles. They now trail 3-2. And a 3 in and out. That was put up by Anders Nelson. Rebound by the Orioles. Whitlock into the front court. Doherty takes the set shot, doesn't go, and the rebound was taken down by number 10, Middleton.
This will be an interesting matchup for Doherty going up against a like-sized player with some nice inside post moves.
Almost looks like Hudson is a little bit taller than maybe what the sheet says here.
Yeah.
Nelson out for a 3. Off the iron. Good rebound by Joey. Mayfield into the front court. Kyrie puts on the afterburners, misses a shot. The rebound by Hudson.
Very nice speed by Kyrie.
Right, he does such a great job changing speeds. He moves into the fastest speed so quick.
Yeah, he's such a fun player to watch.
5-2 Edina leads. Edina moved into the #1 rankings, and then Hopkins took care of Edina and beat them pretty heavily. So,
yeah, that Hopkins team is very impressive. They got size and shooting ability. It'll be interesting to see as the season wears on, kind of how the Lake Conference shakes out.
Foul was on Whitlock, his first.
Good defense by Doherty.
Did a great job guarding the baseline that time, not allowing him to get to the basket. Now the Orioles trailing by 3. So far, it's mostly been Kyrie taking the shots.
I think the Orioles are really can be a really good team when they're patient on offense and they share the ball and move the ball. They've been able to get a lot of people involved.
Doherty now 0 for 2 in the game. It's a good play there. They had Doherty open for the shot. Both teams missing shots here. That was Glenna. Orioles into the front court. Doherty, missed shot. Rebound put back up and in by Anthony Odens.
A very nice play by Odens to stick with the play and follow it.
Anthony Odens had been getting some JV time, but coach said, well, you're varsity now. We need you.
Yeah, he played with these guys in a fall league, and he's just a really smart player, and he works hard. I think a very coachable kid.
Nice move. Back to Joey. He's got a lot of towers inside, and he still gets it up and in. Nice.
A friendly roll. It was a nice play.
Orioles with their first lead of the game, 6-5. Long cross-court pass. And Glenna hits the free. Quickly into the front court, Doherty.
Good court vision by Kyrie to find Aiden streaking down the court.
Both teams unselfish. You see him moving the ball around. And
if you remember from a couple years ago, Glenna has been getting a little bit of varsity time when he was younger, and he plays really aggressive defense. He's kind of one of those real feisty players. It's fun to watch when he's on your team.
Right. Coming into the game will be Zach Kloos, number 20, and Charles Half, number 22. Doherty spin move. That rolls in and out. And the rebound was pulled down by Half. Into the front court is Nelson. Nice pass.
Very nice cut.
Right, great cut by Jack Middleton. Whitlock with the miss. Kyrie with the rebound. Put back is good.
One of the other unique things about St. Louis Park is their guards rebound very well. And that's not unique to this team. I even think back to DJ Pollard and Kashif Hayes and even Ray. They were all good rebounders.
Landers Nelson looking for his first points of the game. And we get a foul. It's going to be called on the Orioles.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see Kyrie and Anders go against each other. They've been playing against each other since 7th grade, and they play against each other in the summers, and so they know each other very well.
And there's Anders scoring right there.
Good to see Deshaun Emerson in the game. He was injured in the last 5 minutes of the Totino Grace game, and it looked like he might be out for longer than he actually was. So
that's a good rebound, tapped out. Anders is going to have another shot at it. This one he hits. You don't want to give a guy like that a second opportunity.
No, Anders is a special player.
So he went from scoreless to 5 points in a hurry. 5-point lead for the Hornets. Stolen away inside. There's Anders again. That looked like it was going to go, but just off the iron. Nice pass.
Oh, good finish by Deshaun. Deshaun brings such energy to the game when he comes in.
Nelson, not afraid to shoot.
No, very smooth.
Talking to Coach Breitenbucher before the game, he felt like he thought the Orioles improved so much defensively in their last game, and was hoping that would carry through here against Edina. There's another turnover by the Orioles.
Yeah, I think the level of competition that they're seeing has really helped them improve in a short amount of time. I think the defense has been improved.
Middleton now hits a 3. And the Orioles will take a timeout. We've seen some teams with pretty hot first halves against the Orioles. That Hopkins game when St. Louis Park played Hopkins, they scored 55, I believe it was, in the first half, and it seemed like whoever touched the ball was just going to drain it. So
yeah, it's really, there's so many quality basketball players in Minnesota, but that Hopkins game, they came out and they must have shot 85%, I think, in the first half. It's interesting with a Totino Grace game, one of the bigger players for Totino had 8 3-pointers, and it's kind of the same, just extremely hot. So they've faced some really quality players, and hopefully we can cool some of these players off.
Right, and it's a team that's going to need to get hot. There's Kyrie Mayfield, his basket earlier on the rebound.
Yeah, nice soft touch.
Well, it's going to be important too, Tom, that the Orioles stay out of foul trouble, because they really don't have a deep bench for this game. So.
Yeah, that's going to be very important. Missing Houts hurts, but they got some nice players. But yeah, foul trouble is a concern. There, that was a nice pass by Odens to see the good finish by Aiden.
Doherty does a good job posting down low. And Orioles cut it to 6. Good play by Joey Whitlock, knocking that one out of bounds.
Yeah, Joey's a little disappointed. I think he tipped it off the other player's hand. The ref just didn't see it.
Another shot good by Half. And Kyrie is fouled. First foul of the game for Edina. That is Luke Lena.
Well, maybe they're listening to you, Bruce. We've only got 2 fouls on Park in 10 minutes.
The referees will let them play a little bit. Nice move.
Just a really fantastic job of avoiding contact. I think the Edina player was looking for a charge, and Kyrie did a nice job of avoiding contact to finish that play.
Not only that, his first step looked like he was going to take it back out, but then cut to the baseline. So Edina with a 6-point lead. Long cross-court pass. And the three in and out. That was Middleton. Orioles with the rebound.
Seems they have a little size advantage with Aiden. I'd like to see him take advantage of that.
So Edina into the front court on the Oriole miss, and we're at 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. 22-16, Edina leads. Nice pass inside, and the foul.
Oh, that's the second on
Number
Joe.
2. Yep.
Yeah, the Orioles kind of lost track on the pick and roll, which forced Joe to come over and provide some help there.
Hudson returning for the Hornets.
Couple free throws made by Half. Peterson in and out with his shot, and a battle for the rebound. Still a pile up on the floor, but Edina comes away with it. Interesting that the Orioles are going to bring Joey back in with 2 fouls right away.
Yeah. Coach Bucher typically likes to rest those guys with 2 fouls, but I think he also sees a 8-point deficit and doesn't want it to get any bigger before half.
Also in for Edina, now number 5 is Dominic Ingram. He has the ball. Edina being a little more patient here.
Yeah.
Well, look at that hop step by Nelson.
Yeah, I think when the offense is starting to slow down, get it to Anders, I think.
Emerson looked like he got hit in the face here. He did with the elbow.
Whitlock returns for the Orioles.
Kyrie missing the jumper.
I think St. Louis Park just needs to get into an offensive flow. They've, I think they've played decent defense here so far, but need to get a few more points on the board.
For the Orioles, number 33, is that Sly? Is that on the roster? Torrance Sly?
Yes, Torrance Sly. Torrance has actually gotten a little bit of time, I think, versus Hopkins he did, and a few other teams. So Coach Brighton Bucher is trying to strengthen that bench and get a few more guys some time.
They're still. Nice block by Sly.
Kind of stuck on his hip there for a second.
three, and the rebound by Slide.
This is a good recovery by Joe.
Whitlock all the way to the basket. Good finish.
Just kind of found an edge and got his way in.
Big basket for the Orioles as they got it down to 8 points.
Moving into a 2-3 zone here for the Orioles, trying to change the defense up a little bit. I kind of like this strategy occasionally, just to throw in a little different defense, change the flow of the game a little bit.
A lot of times it really sometimes can confuse teams. This one off the mark. The rebound underneath by the Hornets. They keep it alive. Back out for a three, and it's good by Luke Glenna. The Orioles are going to take a timeout.
I think Mayfield's coming back in.
How many? Tom, sort of an enormous amount of threes put up in this game for Edina. They put up 17 attempts so far, three-point attempts in this game. They've hit on 5 of 17.
Well, that's an interesting, I mean, I think Coach Brighton Bucher would be happy probably at the beginning of the game to keep those guys on the outside and limit the inside shots.
And St. Louis Park 0 for 5 from three-point range.
0 for 5, yeah.
Right.
They need to get Joe Whitlock going. And, you know, the other person that I think can really contribute on this team is Luke Peterson.
Right.
He's a very good three-point shooter.
Yeah.
If they can just keep moving the ball and find those open spots, he's a kid who can knock those shots down.
And of course, this player with the ball too, they need to get him heated up too. Kyrie does so many things out there.
Well, he just makes the whole team better. I mean, he does such a nice job of creating shots for himself, but he does a great job of creating shots for other people as well. And Park just needs to be patient here and just keep looking for an open shot.
Most points Edina's given up this season was to Delano.
That was very good patience, and they got a nice runner from Luke Peterson. Now they also need to start rebounding a little bit. They've forced Edina to miss some first chance points, but they've gotten a lot of second chance points.
Mentioned Edina playing Delano. Delano has a couple players averaging around 30 points a game, so they've got one's averaging 24 and the other like 29. So
wow.
When you get 53, 54 points a game for two players, it makes it a little bit. Important for St. Louis Park to finish the half strong here.
Yeah, they're getting their hands on tipping some balls. Just need to keep playing solid defense.
Well, Edina didn't want to take that.
Anders.
Instead, they go for their 18th three-pointer.
they don't like those easy shots.
Right. Joey has that one tipped.
Oh.
Orioles got to get back now. Get set defensively here. 1:25 to go. There's a three. Miss. Whitlock with the rebound. Kyrie Mayfield. Stops.
Yeah, you can tell he got himself in rhythm there and had a nice open mid-range jump shot.
Orioles hanging in there. They trail by 7. 29-22. We're approaching the 1 minute mark left to go here in the first half.
It's an interesting 2-3 zone. If you notice that Kyrie is almost playing man-to-man against Anders, so they're really trying to limit Anders' impact on the game. Almost a box and one.
Inside. Fight for the rebound. Anders gets it. Oh, long cross-court pass into the Oriole bench.
They gave up 1 3 to go for another 3. It'll be nice to see the Orioles kind of use this clock and get some points here before the half. They're right in this game.
See if they take it down to 28 seconds.
They've been running this last-minute tilt play for Kyrie, which proved successful against Tino Grace to get a wide open look. They try to isolate him, and he's got such quickness that he can drive right by someone.
With 9 seconds, Kyrie takes it. Yep.
Just like that.
Oh, they're not going to get that one. That's the Orioles' sixth man.
That's right. So that was a great finish for St. Louis Park to pull within 5. This is they're right where they need to be.
I agree. I think, as we mentioned, it's important they close the half strong, and I think they scored the last 4 points there in the half. And this Edina team is just chucking from outside, though, and if they, you got to be able to hit those shots. And if they go cold in the second half and they continue to shoot from outside, St. Louis Park has a good shot to win this game.
Yeah, I think Coach Breitenbucher, all you have to do is look at the Edina stat sheet and see the impact that Anders Nelson can have on a game averaging 22 points. And I think that box and one defense actually really slowed them down the last 5 minutes of the half. I'm not sure what they scored the last 5 minutes, but it wasn't many. And I think it's probably a defense that Edina hasn't seen much.
That may have been one of the quicker halves. I think we may have had like 3 or 4 fouls total in that half, which very rare.
Rare and good for St. Louis Park to limit the number of fouls.
Absolutely. So we're through one half here from St. Louis Park. Our score, Edina 29, St. Louis Park 24. Stay with us. More basketball will be coming up. We're at halftime here at St. Louis Park, 29-24 the score. And St. Louis Park leading scorer, Kyrie Mayfield, he had 10 points. Joy Whitlock and Aiden Doherty each had 4. Peterson, Odens, and Emerson with 2. For the Edina Hornets, we had Luke Glenna with 6, Fisher at 3, Anders Nelson with 9, Middleton 5, Jacob Hudson 2, and Charles Half had 4. We did have a player we had announced. We had the wrong roster number on our roster. We apologize. Kevin O'Neill, number 33, got into the game in the first half, and so we will make sure we have that corrected. And apologize to Kevin. We hope he gets back in so we can get it right this time.
Get the right name on the highlights.
See how the Orioles adjusted here at half.
That was good patience not to force a...
Well, that was a good attempt for a rebound by Odens, but he got turned around a little bit inside. Edina with the basketball.
Those are kind of the little things that Odens does to help the team out.
Edina's going to go inside right away. And Doherty is going to pick up the foul. Hard to, once he gets that ball inside down low, hard to stop.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's really just an inch taller than Aiden.
He looks like he's 2 or 3 inches taller. I'm surprised they haven't really gone to him more.
Right.
They've been so outside oriented so far.
Well, we saw so few fouls in the first half, and if you really want to, start trying to get the Orioles into foul trouble, that's the guy you go to inside.
Right.
Although 19 three-point attempts, that they decided they were going to try and do it from the outside. So.
I think Coach Bradenbucher would be happy if they had 19 attempts in the second half. Oh, that was a good find by Joe.
3 didn't go. The rebound was taken down by Anders Nelson. Nelson into the front court. Good job by the Orioles defensively. Joey with
great
the block.
defense by Joe.
Cross court. Peterson, he'll take the 3. Just a little short off the front of the iron.
Yeah, those are the ones that usually go down for him. Just got to keep shooting, right?
Nelson, he misses the shot, but Edina keeps it alive.
Yeah, those second chance possessions are really, I don't know what the statistics are on that, but Park has definitely given up some points in the first half on that. And
Middleton with the basket for Edina. Edina out rebounding St. Louis Park in the first half, 12-11. That was a good pass though, but Peterson wasn't ready for it. Here's that last basket by Middleton.
All right, St. Louis Park coming out with a press. Let's see if that changes any of the momentum.
This is important how the Orioles finish the half. Now it's important how they start the second half. You can see Edina working the ball inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the coach probably saw those same statistics and wanted him to get inside a little bit more.
Kyrie, he was stopped by the big guy. Now Doherty.
Another great job of avoiding contact and finishing at the hoop.
It's been fun to see how much Aiden's improved over the years.
Yeah, he's really, he's a lot of people don't know, but he really has a nice outside shot. Just that little mid-range, and he can hit a 3 every now and then too. And Anders isn't so bad himself.
No.
Nelson.
Anders is a player Edina would like to shoot the ball like 15 times in a game. Nice shot by Peterson. Important to get Luke going, and
yeah, it's nice to see him get going, and that was just a nice possession where they were patient and waited for a quality shot.
Orioles got it back to 5. Inside Doherty, and the foul.
Oh, that's tough. There's the pressure of a big man down there. It looked like Aiden was pretty straight up on that.
Second.
It was a late whistle too,
Yeah.
but the referee was right under there, so.
Yeah, this announcing gig is really nice because it keeps me from yelling at the referees.
Hudson at the line for the Hornets.
And from yelling at your son too. No critiquing now.
Although I'm not sure he likes me doing this either.
Well, Hudson now 1 for 4 from the line. Kyrie, and he draws a foul.
That was a nice aggressive move by Kyrie to draw the contact.
Guys on Glenn. Second. Team's first.
This will be the first time the Orioles are at the free throw line in this game.
I've really been impressed with the Orioles so far this year. I think, the one anomaly might be the Hopkins game, but otherwise they've been very competitive with top 10 teams in the state. Maybe in years past they would get rattled a little bit and let a 10-point lead or deficit go to 20, and this year they've done a good job of staying in games and battling to make a strong game of it, which they're doing tonight. They're right where they need to be.
Right, I think the Hopkins game was indicative of that, the way they were out well, it's outhandled, but really outshot in the first half of that game when they trailed by 30 points. But they played Hopkins evenly in the entire second half, and that was without Hopkins putting subs in the game. So.
Yeah, right. It was against Hopkins' first team. I think St. Louis Park actually won the second half by 1 point. And it's just that kind of effort that they got a lot of players that have played a long time and played in lots of different kinds of games, so they don't get rattled by
another game they were in was the Park Center game where they lost that one 89-80, but that's a game they felt they could have really won that game. So.
Yeah, they had a 15-point lead in the first half, and they were leading at the second half. There we go.
There he goes.
Joe going here. Yeah, that was the Park Center game. I think they were tied with less than 5 minutes to go, but that's a game that they got into some foul trouble where both Kyrie and Aiden had to sit for long periods of time in the second half. And
there's another foul on Doherty. And
I think that's number three on Doherty.
Yeah. All three here in the second half.
Yeah, I think the Edina players probably heard it from their coach about all the three-point shots, and they're attacking the basket a little bit more.
Here he comes, Kevin O'Neill.
All right, now we need a highlight for Kevin.
I felt like something was wrong because in the Hopkins game, I thought when Kevin came in the second half of that game we did, he played very well.
Yeah, I know talking to Joe that Coach Brighton Bucher has been impressed with Kevin and just his effort. And so it'll be nice to see him grow as the season goes on. All right, St. Louis Park back in a man-to-man here.
Well, we didn't see many fouls in the first half, but now they're starting to call them on the Orioles here. Part of that, the Orioles maybe trying to get a little more aggressive defensively, too.
Yeah, this is going to be an important stretch for St. Louis Park to...
Number 3 by Middleton.
Yeah, Middleton's a nice player.
He averages 11 points per game, and I think he's over that number right now. He has 12 points. Kyrie. Didn't look like Kyrie got turned enough to the basket. He didn't square.
This is an important stretch for St. Louis Park with Doherty on the bench to not to stay in this game.
Good rebound. Nice pass.
Oh, there's a nice.
Oh, Kyrie's got to finish that one.
See, but that's what Kevin O'Neill does. See, that was a nice extra effort following the play and sticking with it. Basketball is such a game that you can kind of get caught watching sometimes.
Right.
And it's those little effort plays like that that help a team out.
Did a great job not to go over the back, too.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he could have been in the shooting motion when he got fouled, but
I think Coach Brighton Bucher thinks he was in the shooting motion as well.
I don't know if Paul, if we could look at that again. Well, we have the upcoming schedule for the Orioles, and we said it doesn't get any easier. They'll be at Wayzata and at Chaska, and then it maybe loosens up a little bit for them as they play Richfield, Jefferson, Kennedy, and South, games that they potentially could.
Yeah, I think it's we're entering an interesting part of the season where we're going to see if this approach to playing tough teams is going to prove out against, because I think as much as maybe they're not happy with the record, I think the experience of playing these tough teams is going to help, and I think the conference is really there for St. Louis Park to have if they can stick together through these tougher games.
On that last foul, it really depends where they call the foul, because they could have called it on the floor, and then he did go up and try and shoot it, and he was hit again. So hard to tell where the referees called that one.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Would have been nice just to see.
If you watch Watch right here how, right there, that would have been
To me,
a
he's
shooting.
kind of going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going up to the basket there.
So I think Coach Brighton-Bucher had a good argument. Doherty back into the game. Whitlock.
There we go. And that was a good possession where they were patient and waited for a quality shot.
We saw Joey hit 5 threes in the second half against Hopkins, and you know, hoping he has that in him for this game too. And you know, he's really picked up his shooting over the last couple of games.
Yeah, I think, you know, he's a good three-point shooter, and that's the thing with shooters. They go in hot streaks, and you know, he has the ability to really catch fire and put points up pretty quick.
They working inside. Nice spin move.
That was good defense by Doherty with 3 fouls, just straight up and not, you know, making Edina make that shot instead of fouling.
Emerson thought about taking it. Misses a running layup. Eight-point Edina lead. Spin along the baseline. Now out for the 3. Middleton off the rim. Another second chance opportunity for the Hornets.
Yeah, it seems like Park's effort is there. They're just somehow not getting to those loose balls. Kyrie's really...
Oh, there's a foul on Kyrie, but also you could see Anders had his arm wrapped around him too.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Brighton-Bucher is arguing. That
watch the arm. Let's just see here. Well, no, right there, but that was after the fact.
Yeah. Well, I think Anders really is trying to find space, and St. Louis Park is trying to limit his ability to get in space and make plays.
Anders says, I'm going to take it anyways. And
nice tough rebound by Joe.
Joe, yep. Kyrie, but you see how fast Edina gets back on the defensive end.
Doherty was thinking about that 3. Now this is an important part where St. Louis Park should get a quality possession and a good shot here.
Doherty's going to work his way to the basket. I think go. Nice rebound.
Good effort by Emerson.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt by Doherty, just a little bit short on that, but what a great rebound by Emerson. Nice pass inside. Yeah.
That was a nice out-of-bounds play and a good finish by Doherty.
42-36, 6-point game. Spin move, Nelson.
Well, it really seems like Anders and Middleton are the guys that are doing a lot of the scoring. So they're working extra hard to get that open shot.
Right.
Yeah.
A very patient team too.
Yeah.
Nice kill, Emerson. Oh, and a foul to recall on Middleton.
Yeah, I think that
fortunate for the Orioles, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was for Edina. You know, they were very patient, but they kept trying to find Middleton or Anders when maybe some of those other guys have open shots. It'd be nice to see them trying to take those shots, but that sometimes that patience leads to turnovers like that.
I thought Emerson going in against a couple Edina players, it looked like he wasn't going to get anywhere, but the foul helped for the Orioles. Emerson short. Yeah, I don't know if that was tipped or not.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
That was tipped, put right into the hands of Half. And the three by Nelson.
Anders Nelson for three.
Yeah, they really do need to find Anders on defense.
Whitlock. This is the shot. Nice rebound. What a great play by him.
That's fun to watch.
But he plays hard.
He does. He shows a lot of heart. Well, now Edina's in the bonus.
Right, and it's going to be Nelson to the line.
Third. Puts the Orioles
Third
over
foul
the momentum.
for Emerson.
Anders issued 1 plus the penalty.
$15 points in the game for Anders Nelson.
Yeah, I know he's a kid that really works on his game. I think he played with Race Thompson this past summer. Probably plays 50 games over the summer, so I'm not sure what his plans are for next year. Wow, tough bucket for Kyrie. That little mid-range jumper, that was nice. He does such a great job of clearing himself and getting an open look.
Watch Anders, he's always looking to shoot. And now half hits the three.
Oh, that's tough. I think that's the shot that St. Louis Park would have been happy, but he knocked it down.
10-point game. Peterson. He hits.
Peterson.
Both teams heating up a little bit here.
Yeah, 8-point lead with 6:45 to go here.
Middleton. In and out for another rebound.
Second chance point.
Right. Nice job by Ingram that time. Giving Edina a second chance here. Anders passed up the three, takes it to the basket. Great move, ball control that time.
Anders
Yeah.
Nelson.
Now Kyrie gets the foul. We'll go to the free throw line.
Kyrie's playing with such confidence right now. You know, I think he feels like when the ball's in his hands, he's has the ability to score or make a play.
Second.
Kyrie 0 for 2 from the free throw line.
Is that the reverse jinx?
That was it. That was it.
For the Orioles. Lennon for the Hornets.
I find myself watching like NBA games and I tell my son, boy, you're really playing terrible. All of a sudden the guy gets hot. And I'm like, so if I can do that in this game, I'd be glad to help the Orioles in any way I can. I'm just too nice to say anything bad about high school players. So.
They're all working hard. The Orioles are back to that box and one defense.
Well, the Diners just start heating up here. Another three-pointer.
Yeah, St. Louis Park needs to get some stops here.
Spin move by Kyrie. Oh, passed out.
Oh,
Not getting the shot to go that time was Odin's. 11-point game. Missed three. Whitlock with the rebound. Had it batted from behind. Had Kyrie underneath. He got it.
oh, nice pass by Joey Whitlock to Kyrie.
Yeah, he looked like he missed the first opportunity, but then found the second time to get it to him. So
Yeah, just a different window.
right. That's a good way of putting it. Here's another ball that's batted out, and another opportunity for Edina.
It's interesting, we haven't seen Anthony Racing tonight. And he seems like a kid that would help with rebounds.
A little bit height.
Yeah. Looks like Edina's trying to use a little clock here.
Well, we haven't seen much of the sophomore here lately. I will take a timeout. Yeah, Jacob Hudson started the game, and that seemed to be the game plan right at the start, was to get him the ball, but he's been out for a little bit. Here's standing so far, Bloomington Jefferson 5-3, Chanhassen 4-4. The Red Knights are coming on a little bit.
They're kind of a surprise this year. They've played some good teams pretty tough.
They have, and they lost Battle this season, who could have been a great help for them. And, but they've come around and they're playing well. So, but Chaska, Chaska at 8-2 really is probably the team to beat in this conference. So.
Yeah, I think although they lost a couple of really nice players, they have a lot of depth in that program, and they've had some quality basketball games so far this year as well, playing some Lake Conference teams very tough. Even Bloomington Jefferson just played Wayzata, and that was about a 3-point game. So even Jefferson has got, there aren't going to be any easy games in this conference.
Right. Yeah, trying to think if there's anyone undefeated right now.
I don't think there is. Eden Prairie started out really well, and I think Hopkins has one loss.
Good rebound.
Oh, that was a nice rebound by Joe.
Yep, so we got the rebound, and the foul was on half. Orioles will be in the bonus on the next foul.
I think there's a lot of parity actually in the conference, so it should make for a lot of great games to watch.
I just looked up at the scoreboard. I'm like, we're under 4 minutes. This game has just moved along.
Yeah, it's been pretty cleanly played. Not a lot of turnovers, it doesn't seem like.
St. Louis Park definitely has shown they can play with the Edina team.
Yeah, I think it's those second chance points. Right, great pass by Kyrie to find Joe.
So he's not getting that one to fall, and here comes Edina with a 9-point lead.
And the Orioles are really going to have to increase the pressure here.
But again, it looks like the strength of the Edina team is their guard play, but they turn it over.
Yeah, they had a nice double team on Anders. I mean, I think that's the,
Look at that.
Good, nice persistence by Aiden to get around Anders and get to the basket.
I don't know if the Red Sea parted that much.
You got to take it when it comes.
Well, yeah. and a nice job for Aiden to recognize this. Here it is again. As it gets by Anderson, see the...
Yeah, the no help defense game.
Getting there a little late was Kloos.
Yeah, now Anders is trying to do a little too much, I think, especially with a 7-point lead. I think they can afford to be a little patient. And he just took it in against 3 or 4 guys.
Yep, good defense by Joey. Orioles need to come up big on all of their possessions right now offensively. Spin move, Kyrie. Well, if Kyrie can hit that shot, that's a tough one. And the Orioles cut it to 5, so they're hanging in there.
Yeah, I think, if they can get some stops and limit them to 1 chance on their possessions, they got a chance to get right back into this with 2.5 to go.
Kyrie with 18 points in the game now. Well, upcoming schedule for Edina. They have Maranatha. That school has Bejan Newburn.
Yeah, well, I wasn't disappointed to see Bejan leave Cooper and go to Maranatha. He's a really quality basketball player, and they have some nice kids in that program. The former Totino Grace head coach moved to Maranatha, and I think he's trying to build a program there.
Then again, they get into their conference. They get play Chanhassen.
They get into our conference.
Our conference,
it looks like.
that's right, because their conference is pretty small. They've got Minnetonka, Eden Prairie. Not too many schools want to be in that conference. St. Michael, Albertville always has been tough lately. Orono is a good, and Minnetonka. Minnetonka's having a good season.
Yeah, they really impressed me because I thought I don't think people thought looking at the Lake Conference that Minnetonka would be very competitive, but it was kind of the same thing as other games. They had a couple of shooters that really shot 60-70%. And played really very well. That was another game that St. Louis Park was in until the very end. So I think Coach Breitenbucher really has these guys in a good spot heading into conference.
They're playing well, and he's been able to go a little bit deeper with some players that maybe would not have gotten a lot of playing time now, and they're getting a little more and more playing time. You're getting Odens in the game a little bit more, and Emerson and O'Neill. Timeout. Okay. You don't want to foul Nelson. You want to.
No, it's interesting to see at the top of the court they had Anders Nelson, Middleton, and I forget the other kid's name.
Glenna?
Yeah, Glenna. And I think that those are all really good ball handlers, and I'm assuming they're good free throw shooters as well. So if St. Louis Park can force the ball into some of the other kids' hands, they might look to foul.
Edina 6 of 9 from the free throw line. And St. Louis Park 2 of 4. All 4 of those free throws, Kyrie Mayfield. It'll be Luke Glenna inbounding the ball for Edina.
St. Louis Park looks like they're trying to double team when they can.
And again, if they foul, it's probably not going to be Nelson. You can see Edina likes to keep the ball in Nelson's hands as much as possible.
They got honors with the hook that Breitenbucher has been. I think Dave's been working the referees and letting them know that he likes to hook players to find himself space.
And right in front of the Edina bench. So no complaints from Edina there.
No. All right, great opportunity for St. Louis Park here.
Chance to cut it to a one-possession game. Mayfield. Whitlock, cross. Luke Peterson.
Plenty of time.
Doherty. He takes the jump shot and hits.
Nice mid-range jump shot by Aiden.
Little mismatch on size. Doherty saw that. Full court pressure. And a turnover. Oriole basketball now with 1:01 to go. And a one-possession game.
1 minute remaining.
We got to get it in here. We do.
All right.
Kyrie Mayfield.
Yeah, and I like the idea of going back to Doherty here. He's got.
Doherty. You don't see post-ups as much anymore, and that was a
he's got such a mismatch against Anders that. Good timeout by
Edina. Timeout. What a great effort by this Oriole team to turn this into a one-point game. And that pressure has been troubling Edina right now.
Yeah, that was a nice double team in the corner that forced the turnover on the baseline. Even though he was able to pass out, he wasn't able to make a quality pass, and he kind of threw it at the ankles, and that's what caused the turnover. So, I think the key will be, applying that pressure and keep looking for turnovers.
Not a high-scoring game, but a fun one right now. It's just a one-point game.
Yeah, this is what we were looking for, right? I mean, I think this whole season there's been a lot of close games like this, and I think there's so much learning that goes on with these players in games like this when they're challenged. You know, and I know Coach Breitenbucher, this is exactly the kind of competition he wanted to see.
Well, in St. Louis Park didn't seem phased. They just they ran the play. They had that mismatch with Doherty, and Doherty able to convert two straight baskets, and we're at a 1-point game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like Edina has some taller players that could put more pressure on Doherty, so it's interesting that they're putting Anders on him. Sign of respect.
They get the ball in. 38 seconds. Orioles don't have to foul yet. Anders, and now Anders gets fouled.
That's okay. That was a good aggressive foul. They had an opportunity to get a turnover there.
Well,
and it's still a one-possession game no matter what.
That's exactly it, Tom. If he makes both free throws, the Orioles still have a three-pointer to tie the game opportunity.
I see they're bringing Luke Peterson in, and he's a quality three-point shooter. So it'll be interesting to see what Park does out of these free throws.
Nelson,
if they look for a two-point shot or if they look to try to get a three. There's still plenty of time with 31.5 seconds to go.
Nice job from the line by Nelson. They're going to bring Ingram into the game. A little bit of, looks like they're bringing a little bit of speed in here on defense. Orioles don't have to go for a three yet at this point.
No, now they've switched to have Middleton on Doherty.
Oh, and it's turned over. So now the Orioles will have to foul. Edina will take a timeout. Good defense by the Orioles.
Yeah, that was good denied defense by St. Louis Park.
I think Edina is probably about out of timeouts at this point. Well, looks like they have one more.
Well, I think if they can apply that same kind of pressure that they just applied, you know, they've been successful getting a couple turnovers here down the stretch. So.
And I think the key for the Orioles right now is you got to just try and avoid that ball getting into Nelson's hands, and
I agree.
Try and foul someone else if you can.
Yeah, you could almost instead of putting a player on the inbound player, just have a double team on Anders just to force them to throw it into someone else.
20 points in the game for Anders Nelson. 13 for Middleton. Those are the two big scorers for Edina right now.
That's their recipe, right?
Doherty has 14. Whitlock with 10.
And that's kind of the St. Louis Park recipe. Kyrie, Aiden, and Joe. They've been pretty consistent scorers thus far. They set a nice pick for Anders there.
Oh, and Anders goes hard into the bench.
We'll just pick the microphone up here.
Got the TV coming off here too.
Might have to buy some new equipment after this.
Exactly. I thought we had the
You
best.
got insurance for this equipment?
I thought we had the best seats in the house. We survived though. Yeah, you know, they didn't have much of a choice to foul there, and tried to get the trap on Anders and hope maybe he turned it over. Misses the free throw though. Still a one possession game. Kyrie Mayfield into the front court with 10 seconds. We'll see if Edina fouls and doesn't let the Orioles take the three, but Kyrie puts it up. Oh, just too far, too long, and St. Louis Park has to foul.
That was a good effort.
Yep. Actually, the shot from here, I thought it looked pretty good, but that's just my, go just a little bit.
Yeah, it's tough when the clock's running down and you got to find a way to get an opening. St. Louis Park really has battled hard, again, staying in this game. I don't know what the largest lead for Edina was, but I thought they had stretched it out there for a little bit.
Yeah, I think at one point it's about 12 points, but, this is, Coach Breitenbucher, he's worked so hard on these games, and he's like, we are so close in some of these games to just, and you just see right here, the effort's there, and, Edina just may come away with this win, but, as a coach, you have to be very proud of what this team accomplished and coming back and fighting in this game.
Yeah, I think, and I'm sure he's telling his players that. He set this schedule up. These are top 10 teams in the state. So you're seeing really high-quality basketball. And that's really the takeaway that they should have, is that, they're playing really high-quality teams well.
Missed free throws. Again, the only problem with the Orioles is they got this big center divider, and I don't think
we need that NBA rule where we can move it into the front court.
Right. Well, Joy was able to, a 4-point game, he was able to still get that ball off the rim, but...
Orioles players are coached for that line drive, last-second shot.
They get to practice that. For Edina, they were 9 of 29 from three-point range. St. Louis Park, 2 of 12. Rebounds, 25 for Edina, 20 for St. Louis Park. And I think one of the keys that we saw was that the second chance opportunities that Edina had on the offensive boards.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the statistics were on second chance points, but there was a lot of possessions that Edina really did cash in on those extra chances. But even with that, the Orioles were right there to get this game. So I know these are tough losses for the players, but they should really take away that they're playing quality opponents, and when they get into conference, they really have the opportunity to do quite well, I think.
Yeah, again, great coaching job. I think Dave Breitenbucher did a great job to keep his team in this game, and a great effort by the St. Louis Park boys in this one. Even though it's a loss, good game. So the St. Louis Park Orioles record now goes to 4-6. For Edina, they are 6-4. The next game for the St. Louis Park Orioles will be Tuesday, January 9th at Wayzata, followed by Tuesday, January 16th at Chaska. We hope you can go out and support the St. Louis Park Orioles. We can help to have some bigger crowds at the games, and they're a fun team to watch this year, and we hope you'll continue to come out and watch the Orioles and follow us too on ParkTV 16. So
yeah, they're a really they're a quality team, and they're going to be just fine. I think the next two games are against teams that I think they can compete with and be in the exact same position that they were in tonight. And it's just, as Coach Breitenbucher says, it's just getting over that hump, and I think they'll get there.
All right, Tom, I want to thank you for stepping in, and love to have you back again sometime too. So
it was my honor to be next to the great Bruce Everett.
All right, on behalf of Tom Whitmore and our whole staff here from ParkTV 16, I'm Bruce Overend saying so long. Our final score, Edina 58, the St. Louis Park Orioles 54.